Good evening, my name is Keith Hebden. I'm on day 34 out of 40 of my fast for the End Hunger Fast. So I'm fasting in solidarity with those who are going hungry in Britain today, and those who don't know where their next meal is coming from, and those who have to choose between heating and eating, and those who are in between jobs, and those who are in debt to utility companies, and those who can't afford to go and shop where the food is cheaper than where they live because of the poverty premium which is placed on food. So I'm fasting for them, and that's what keeps me going, that and other people's prayers. I've had a difficult week, I'd say. For the first time in this fast it's been really difficult. I felt hungry, as in an emptiness in my stomach, on about day 28, 29. Which I thought was interesting. I have a little thesis about that, because hunter-gatherer societies used to hunt on a lunar cycle, which is 28 days. And so there would have been times of not having much and then good eating. So it felt like my fast came to its natural end on day 28, and my body was saying to me, okay, that's enough now, eat. Which of course I haven't. But I have, with my disturbed sleep, lay there at night thinking about liver and onions and lamb chops and demolishing a chocolate egg. And I think I was longing for the end of the fast a little bit as well, so I was starting to get to that point when I could see the end was close and I was losing patience. So I decided to try and knock that on head. So with just 5-6 days left to go, 6 days, I need to make sure I'm with the experience and I'm living the experience, because it'll be gone before I know it, and then it'll be too late. I'm going on retreat for the next 3 days, so that's a good opportunity to sit, reflect, do some more silence, do some reading and some writing, and I hope to take some time during that to write about the experience of the fast as well, and see what that brings up, really. Good news today from a guy who was street homeless and now isn't. Saw him in his new house, and we were able to give him some food to keep him going, because he's without food at the moment, and he's really turning his life around, and it's so great to see that happening, someone with such great strength and resolve. So really proud to know him. And another bit of good news today, a big thanks to Retired Mine Workers Association for Nottinghamshire, who donated £100 worth of food to our food bank. So they dropped that off today. Big family pack size packs of cornflakes. Really important for two reasons. It's often families who access food banks, and they access them for all sorts of reasons. Predominantly they access them, the short-term reason is delays and sanctions to their welfare, but of course the long-term reasons are different. The long-term reasons are to do with low pay and big bills, and then losing jobs, and then getting a job and losing it again. So those kind of things keep people precarious, and so that they end up needing a food bank, and then they're all right for 6 months, and then they need to go again to the food bank. So good to have big boxes of cereals, because families use food banks quite a lot. And also cereals are things you can eat without needing to switch the oven on. Or the hob. So if your gas and electricity has run out and you can't afford to switch it back on, you can still have a bowl of cereal. So we've had a load of stuff from the NUM, Retired Mine Workers Association today. Really pleased and grateful to them for that. And looking forward to Holy Week, looking forward to Palm Sunday. Palm Sunday evening, my plan at the moment is to break my fast at 8:30 on Palm Sunday evening, which will be 2 hours short of 40 days. I hope you don't mind, but I don't mind. I'm going to have a big spoon of peanut butter, which is fat and protein and easy to digest, and it's what's given to children who've been malnourished in majority world countries, where they've gone hungry for much longer than I have and are much more deeply hungry. Then I'm going to have pureed steamed cauliflower, as in cauliflower mash, a little bit of that, and then I'm going to have stewed pears. And then I'm going to stop and see how I feel in the morning, whether that's gone through me or whether I'm alright, and then it will be something similar for breakfast, and then pureed carrots perhaps for lunch, and for dinner perhaps just a fruit juice in the evening. I've started taking probiotic powder, which reawakens your digestive system. Just you don't need to do that, but if you do, you're less likely to get diarrhea, and your stomach's more likely to respond well to the food that you do get. So I'm just doing that sensible thing to do, really, from today. And I've lost, I think, about a stone. I haven't weighed myself in a couple of weeks, but I think it's about a stone. So I've not lost huge amounts of weight. I'm grateful for that. And I've not got dizzy except for once, so my blood pressure's okay. I've got cold, very cold at night, and very disturbed sleep. Those have been the big symptoms. I've not lost my hair, as one nutritionist suggested, but as you can see, I wasn't too worried about losing my hair, really. Big encouragements this week have been the National Day of Fasting on the 4th of April. 2,500 people, no, let me get this right, 2,500 people fasting, and we had about that many tweets on Twitter with the hashtag Fast 4th of April, Fast April 4th, and around about 1 million people would have seen our tweets on our campaign on the 4th of April. So our next big day really is going to be the end of the fast. We have a vigil in Parliament Square at 6 o'clock on the Wednesday of Holy Week, 16th of this month, 16th of April, and so that's going to be a big day for us. We're going to be telling the story of those going hungry in all sorts of different ways on that day. So on the 16th of April, keep an eye out for us on the website endhungerfast.co.uk, and keep an eye out for us in news and in the radio. And while you're doing that, tell your stories of hope, your stories of protest, your stories of prayer, and your pledges to be more compassionate, as we make our pledges too. Because we need to keep reminding ourselves and our government and our neighbours that our friends and neighbours are going hungry and they're struggling. And this isn't people we just call the poor. I hate that phrase, the poor, or the homeless, in fact, because when we use those phrases, the poor and the homeless, we forget that we're talking about people. It's people who are struggling, people who are destitute, people who are homeless. I prefer those phrases because it just reminds me that people aren't statistics, and people need our compassion. So I don't know if I'll do another blog or not before I finish my fast, but I will do another one after I've finished. So I just want to say now, thank you so much for all the support and words of encouragement, people of faith and people of good faith, whether it's prayer, or whether it's holding me in the light, or whether it's sending good thoughts or encouragement and postcards, whatever it's been. Thank you so much. But thank you all the more for all that you are doing up and down the country. I don't know why I'm saying thank you, it's nothing to do with me. I just want to say how encouraged I am to live in a country where people care for their neighbours so much. And I wish our governments would follow the example of the people. Because if the government were half as compassionate as the people who are supposed to be voting them in, then we wouldn't be in this situation in the first place.